Hi everyone, this is my latest video review. This has the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Legacy 6.5-inch figures. It's funny because originally I was not going to get these figures because I already had the 5-inch, but when I saw them in stores and how highly detailed they looked, I couldn't pass them up. I had to buy them. And you may notice that they're holding a power weapons. These are the weapons from the 5-inch figures we got not too long back. And I must say, I'm pretty impressed. I thought these weapons would look smaller on these figures, but they're actually pretty up to scale. The only weapon that isn't as big is the power axe. It looks a little bit small, and I also put the blade blaster on the Black Ranger, and it's a little bit small, but it still looks pretty cool. So there you have it, the Mighty Morphin Rangers holding the 5-inch figure weapons. There are rumors floating around. I don't know how accurate they are. They do say that Bandai has noticed their mistake on not releasing their signature weapons, and we might actually get weapon packs. Don't hold me on that. I don't know how true that is, but I really hope that is. At least for this case of the other teams. I mean, if we don't get weapon packs for Mighty Morphin, I really wouldn't mind, because as you can see, the 5-inch figure weapons, they do justice, so I could always use those if I want to use those weapons on them. And yeah, so let's get started here. So one thing you guys will notice is the detail, especially on the helmets. The helmets, they did an amazing job on them. I mean, to me, Blue Ranger's helmet stands out the most because for once they got it accurate. A lot of the times, there's some kind of detailing missing, or the sculpt is like not done properly, and just it looks really off. And let me show you guys the backs of these figures. And one thing, of course, that many fans have been complaining about is the silver belts on the Wave 2 Mighty Morphin figures, the Pink Ranger, Blue, and Black Rangers. It really sucks because it looks awkward because we have the Green and Red Rangers belts, which are white, and then we have 3 Rangers of the team having silver belts. To me, it doesn't. I don't really see it as much, but I could see why a fan could get upset because Mighty Morphin is the first team. Huge fan of that team, and it's just a letdown of the belt being a completely different color. Especially paying like what, $25 for these figures, and to have like an inaccuracy like that is inexcusable. So anyways, let's get back to the detailing here. Actually, we were talking about details, so I guess we'll skip that. And as you can see, the backs are painted as well. You have the diamonds on the back, or I guess triangles on the back. And yeah, so that's what they look like at the back. So articulation is going to show you one for each, one for pink and one for the males. So here, Red Ranger here. So and yeah, so this is the Red Ranger, and very similar to the figure arts, they have the same articulation. So let me just take this sword out. Let me show you the accessories as well. Let's get that out of the way. So all the Mighty Morphin Rangers, they come with this this holster right here. And the only weapon they actually come with is the folded blade blaster. So like, it's pretty lame because it's not much of a weapon. Like, let me put it on the Red Ranger and show you guys. That's if I can put it on the Red Ranger. One thing I've noticed with these legacy figures is that their hands are actually their wrists are pretty tight, or sorry, their hands are pretty tight. It's hard to put a weapon on them. So this is what it looks like. Yeah, it's not much of a weapon because it's kind of small. So that's the Red Ranger there. So they have a lot of articulation. It's really great if you guys like Guys are good at putting them at various poses. Let me move that out of the way. So you have the wrist articulation, like so, like this is what standard figure. It's like a ball joint. So you can like put it at a dramatic pose if you must. And the shoulder, you can move it up and down. And the glove, you can rotate it. And yeah, so you can move it up and down. Or, sorry, up and down or side to side. It is kind of tight on these figures, so you have to be kind of careful. Like, for the for the side to side motion, it doesn't go that far. Like, this is how far it goes for the shoulder. You can't really put it any higher. And one additional articulation that they have, which the figure arts don't, is this strange chest articulation. Like that, or you can move it all the way up and have it go like that. I really don't care for the chest articulation because, in my opinion, it gets in the way. When you're trying to pose the figure, it's a kind of pose. Because the chest articulation is kind of loose, you tend to have the figure's chest either going down, where it looks like they're dramatically looking down, or it goes up. And it really, like, messes with the pose you're trying to get them at. And of course, you have the head, which can go up and down. You can move it all around. And the leg too, up and down. Or at the knee, you can move it further back. It actually goes pretty high back. Like, that's pretty cool. You can get it there. Or you can even rotate it as you like. The boot like so. And even from here, you can rotate it, but it's really tight, so you gotta be kind of careful so you don't break the figure. And you have like the shoe articulation right here. You can go as far as that. So that's basically it for articulation. It's pretty cool. It has a lot of articulation. These figures are meant to be posed in like the poses you see on the TV show. Unfortunately, as much as I would love to put them in those poses, I really suck at them. The thing is, I'm very fragile with these figures because I played a lot. I don't want to risk breaking them. And I'll show you guys the Power Morpher. Let me see if it will zoom in properly. Even the Power Morpher is highly detailed. Let me actually move my light there so you guys can see. Yeah, so that's what it looks like. If you actually hold the figure up close, you can actually see the detailing of like, it's like a personalized coin, like Red Ranger has a Tyrannosaurus and so forth. That's the Red Ranger there. And Green Ranger. So the males, of course, they have the same like articulation. And this is what the Green Ranger looks like. Let me put more light into that. And he has this shield here. Unfortunately, it's molded in, so you can't really remove them and put it on the other figures. So the Green Ranger has his own holster, which is pretty cool. And this is what his dragon dagger looks like. The Green Ranger actually comes with all his weapons, so that's really awesome. He also comes with the Sword of Darkness, I think it's called. And you also get these additional hands for the different weapons and different poses. That's the Green Ranger, and he also comes with a gold Morpher that they detailed in, which is pretty awesome. For some details, they really went above and beyond. Like, they made sure he had his Morpher and his power coin on his belt, and it wasn't just a standard silver Morpher. So that was pretty cool. The only thing I really don't care about the Green Rangers is visor. They put a little bit too much space in the visor instead of like the Green Rangers visor doesn't have too much of a gap. It's a little bit narrow, so that's the only complaint about the Green Ranger. But other than that, they did a great job on it. And they got the silver rings or gold rings, sorry. They got these straps of the shield right there. I don't know if you guys can see. And also they got the rings on the boot as well. So they did go above and beyond. So next, Pink Ranger. She comes with the same accessories as the Red Ranger, so the Blade Blaster in folded motion and also the holster. So let me show you guys. So this is, her articulation is pretty much the same, except her hand can go a little bit higher than the guys. And then there's the elbow, and there's like a ball joint near the shoulders, and the elbow also, you can go up and down. And the glove, oh sorry, I'm like blocking everything. So the glove, you can move it around. And same wrist articulation. She even has that weird chest thing going for her. Like down and up. And also her head, you can move it all around. I noticed the articulation on the Pink Ranger is a lot more, like the female figures are a lot more looser than the male figures, which makes it a lot easier. As for the legs, because they provided little slits on the skirts, you can kind of like, I mean, it does restrict it, but not as much. So you can move as far as you want, so because of those slits there. And you also have the same leg articulation from the knee. And yeah, so you can move it around like so. Yeah, see, it's a lot more looser. Like the Red Ranger, I was struggling to like move his leg. It legit felt like I was gonna break it. And same boot articulation. It's pretty cool. And honestly, if it wasn't for these, yeah, you can also move it like side to side, which isn't possible on the male figures. I'd actually think that they have more articulation than the males, which is pretty cool. So that's the Pink Ranger. So here's the Black Ranger. And they too have their own personalized coins, which is pretty cool. His helmet is also like highly detailed. And finally, the Blue Ranger. I was actually going to squeeze in the Space Rangers too, because they're pretty much the same figures. But because of time restraints, I really can't. Because as you know, I don't like going over 10 minutes, which this video already is at 12 or 13. So yeah, so some of these figures, the joints are actually very tough, so just be very careful so you don't end up breaking it. Like, so there you go, that's the Blue Ranger. Like, his arm is already like, so that's the Blue Ranger there. So pretty much same articulation throughout the guys, and the girls have their own articulation very similar. So there you have it. So if you guys have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to ask. And as always, thanks for watching. As for price points, in Canada you can get them for $24.97. US, I believe they are cheaper. And we have yet to get a full team. Ninja Storm, I don't count that as a full team because they still do have 3 other members that are yet to be released. Like I said, I'm really waiting for the next wave, because we'll have Mighty Morphin that's complete. And Space Rangers to a point will be complete, but without the Silver Ranger. So that's gonna be cool. And yeah, so that's the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers team. And yeah, so next I'm gonna review the 2 Space Rangers, Yellow and Red. And like I said, thank you so much for watching.